Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Awakening Intuition. Just take a moment here to get set up, make sure I've got everything ready to go. It looks like we're all good. So, today we're going to really be exploring and understanding how it is that our intuition communicates with us. Kind of understanding the difference between a communication between somebody standing right in front of you and again your intuition or your non-physical parts of you. And because your intuition communicates to you through different bodily feelings, through different parts of your nervous system, it can be a different experience understanding how it's communicating, what it's trying to share with you. And again, to assume that it's like a conversation that you have with somebody is grossly oversimplifying it. Your intuition is communicating with you through feelings inside of your body. Oftentimes, those feelings are synonymous with colloquialisms, the gut feeling, or I just got a sense inside of me, or my heart is telling me that I need to be moving towards X or Y. Again, these terms have been phrased around what people were actually experiencing, and this was, this experience of intuitive abilities. So again, I always start by trying to clear out, setting a ground zero, a baseline, basically, and then testing out your intuition. Testing out, again, last week we were doing simple questions, simple, almost non-consequential, inconsequential questions, and seeing, okay, what showed up, and then how are we basing that? How are we interpreting that? How are we saying, well, this was an intuitive hit? Well, you got to actually write down, okay, I had an intuition to so and so, to go to a certain store, to uh, do or don't do a certain experience, and then figure out what happened after that experience. And that's when, you want to really start to write down and understand, okay, I felt in my heart, I felt this expansive feeling. Um, when I did do that, these fortuitous events happened to me. And then boom, you're getting into your intuition. You're getting into your understanding how your intuition, speaks to you, communicates with you, because that's what it's doing. It's communicating with you. And again, you can get wrapped up in the stories around what intuition is. You can get wrapped up in, this very Newtonian physics story of, if I can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell it, it doesn't exist. Um, I think the biggest key for this is to realizing that your subconscious mind is so much more of your experience than the actual conscious mind. And that subconscious mind is essentially what I'm calling your intuition. So you can believe that the universe is speaking directly to you through your subconscious mind, or you can just believe that 99.5% of your experience is filtered out through your conscious awareness, or filtered out from your conscious awareness. And your ability to access these parts of you that are filtered out can be very helpful. Um, they can be a very useful utility in your life, especially When it comes to business, I've found that just being very in tune with your intuition in a business setting so much more than not opens up opportunities for you that you would have never even imagined. And I was kind of playing around with this idea after hearing a interview with Jeff Bezos and kind of seeing his almost lackadaisical nature when it comes to Blue Origin, his spaceship endeavor, and how that's all playing out, and how Amazon is moving, and what's all going on, and I think what came through to me was this understanding that he knows at a fundamental level that all of his companies, they have what I would call their own spirit or their own essence. It's not just that Jeff Bezos is directing all of these companies and saying, well, I want this to go here and that to go there. What he understands is that his businesses are ecosystems. There are a whole bunch of gigantic feedback loops that are connecting different people with other people and providing opportunity for other people. And it's not that Amazon has this one way of doing things and that's the only thing. What I think Bezos understands is that he's the proprietor, he's the one that kind of started it, but it has its own mind. So he refers to his businesses oftentimes in a very hands-off way because he understands that there's this guiding force that is moving his businesses, and the more that he can feel and see into where they want to be moving towards, the better opportunities he gives the businesses to continue to flourish. And this is a very different approach to how a lot of people view businesses. They view them as this machinery that gets them from point A to point B. And certainly in human history that is the case, but as we continue to have the technology and the ability to have these very complex systems, it becomes more like an ecosystem than a machinery. You wouldn't consider a forest or a ecological area as a machinery to propagate um, plant and animal life. It's an ecosystem to propagate plant and animal life and everything else that exists inside of that ecosystem. So, this is kind of a cool reframe for business people specifically, that you're not just in charge of this machinery, you're in charge of the ecosystem. Excuse me. And that ecosystem, has different feedback loops, has different places where information is flowing either into or out of the business. And what you want to be doing is feeling into, and this sounds a little bit woo woo, but you want to be feeling into, where is your business going? Like, what is drawing your business forward? And this is what a good visionary is able to do. They can see where the business should be moving towards before anybody else can see that. And what does it take for visionaries? Well, it takes the ability to tune into your intuition. It takes the ability to understand intuitively without rational thinking, but subconsciously, okay, where should this be moving? What is the direction that my business should be moving in? And that could be, again, as big as Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and that kind of stuff. Or it could be as small as you've got a paper or a project or a report that's due, and you need to understand, okay, what does this report need to be about? How can I use this report as effectively as possible? Um, and then, yeah, really just being able to tune into your intuitive abilities to focus your subconscious mind on helping you facilitate this project or report or whatever that might be in your business life. And then again, as you continue to open up your intuition, you'll open up more and more and more opportunities. And it's kind of really cool to watch and see, especially in my life, to just watch how simple meditation practices, as well as a general knowledge of business, has allowed me to move to where I am right now, to where I am with clients and opportunities and websites and everything that's going on in my business. I can honestly like feel, okay, this is where we need to be moving towards. And instead of me saying, okay, this is where we need to be moving towards, and I need to do X, Y, Z all the way through, it's trusting that, building that MVP, that minimum viable product, is going to get me to the right place. It's going to find the right people that are going to be working on, and again, building this ecosystem of humans and business products and websites and funnels and all of that stuff that are going to bring me to have a flourishing ecosystem, not a flourishing machine, if that makes sense. So it's really cool. It's a good experience to feel into the energies of different, non-physical things. And this could be a business, this could be friends, family, past lives, future lives, all of these things. We have basically, there's scientific evidence that we have understanding that we can access these parts of us. I was watching a video today. Um, I forget exactly who it was, but he was talking about Google's quantum computing chip, and essentially what the lead engineers of the Google quantum computing chip have figured out is that, more or less, if you quantized, if you took every single atom in the universe, plugged it in as a bit of information, the computational power that it would take to compute the entirety of the universe would be longer than however long the universe has been alive or on, or however you conceptualize this. So essentially what that means is, because it isn't possible for the computational power of, we'll call, reality, there isn't enough computational power inside of reality. There has to be these parallel realities, these parallel universes that exist. And what we're accessing, is our ability to experience these parallel universes and then bring that information back to this reality. And this is what we're doing. This is what from a high level, I would call building our intuition. It's being able to access different parts of us, different versions of us, different experiences that we've had, to make the best decision right now, in this now moment. And that's what we're doing. That's all that we're doing. So, enough of me rambling on. Let's get into the meditation. Let's get into that calm place, so that we can continue to build this intuition. We can continue to build our awareness of our subconscious mind and use that in our daily lives to live a better life, to create everything that we want to create in this lifetime and in many, many more. So find that comfortable place. Again, seated. If you're somewhat new to meditation, I always recommend that you stay in a chair, feet firmly planted on the ground, back up against the either back of the chair, or if you're sitting on the ground, just have your back up against a wall or the back of a chair, something, so that your spine is as straight as possible. And then just gently start to close the eyes. Start to just turn your attention, your awareness on your breath. Notice if that breath is long and slow, or if it's short and fast. And see if you can slow the breath down. See how long you can breathe in for, maybe 4 seconds or 6 seconds or 8 seconds. And just a brief hold at the top, maybe 3 to 4 seconds before you, even slower than you brought in that air, release it out. So if it was a 4 or 6 second in breath, look to get 8 to 12 seconds on that out breath. And just do a few more rounds, maybe 2 more rounds of this nice, long, slow breath. Keeping in mind that we're aiming to be breathing in and out through the nose. As you get into it, maybe some deep breaths might come out through the mouth. But as you settle into your meditation, the focus should be in through the nose, out through the nose. So just bring your breath back to normal. Don't think about it, just let it breathe. Let your subconscious mind take over that experience. And now we'll start with a little bit of a body scan. Can you feel anywhere in your body where there's a little bit of tension, a little bit of tightness? And just see if you can release that tension or tightness. It helps me sometimes to just imagine that there's something or someone just massaging that part of my body. And then gently you'll start to see that tension dissipating. You'll feel that tension dissipating. And once it's gone, move on to the next spot. Move on to the next part of your body that has tension, and do the same thing. Let it go, release it. I was out in the woods today. It was raining a little bit. It felt just like the Pacific Northwest, even though I'm on the East Coast. And I remembered that feeling of pressure releasing when I get into the woods, when I get into nature, when I get into or near a body of large water. So just feel that tension releasing as if you're in a forest, in the ocean. Now we'll just start to feel this calmness coming over you, this peace. If your mind is racing, if you've got thoughts coming in and out, like when is this going to end? What is happening? Why am I not intuitive yet? Can you just let those thoughts go? I always recommend just having a quick little saying, and that saying reminds you, okay, that's just a thought. Let's let it go. And as you get better and better at just letting the thoughts go, not only will you start to lower the propensity of having all of these often intrusive thoughts, but you'll also start to rewire your brain so that it's receptive to these intuitive abilities, these intuitive hits that you get throughout the day. So instead of them staying below that level of consciousness in our subconscious mind, they actually peek their way into our conscious awareness. Just like that gut feeling inside of us telling us this is the right way. Well, that gut feeling is only there because it's made its way through the conscious awareness. It became you became aware of it. So we can train ourselves to just snap right into that without the need for long, drawn out meditations. It's just available all the time. So we'll spend the next just couple of minutes really experiencing this calmness so that your mind can see and feel all these intuitive hits that are coming into your body. So gently just start to come back. A lot of times we'll get a glimpse of that blissful or euphoric state. And that's good. It's not the goal necessarily in meditation, it's just a nice side effect. So if you're feeling that bliss, that joy, that peace, what I like to do is as I come back out of it, I hold on to that feeling, but I let go of all the thoughts and the expectations. I just hold on to that feeling and it stays with me for oftentimes the rest of the day so that I'm not as worried, I'm not as hectic, I'm not trying to do, but I'm just allowing things to come to me as they are, as they're ready, as I'm ready. Not forcing, never pushing, but allowing. And if you haven't already, just really start to stretch out, come back into the body. And whenever you're ready, gently blink open the eyes. Thank you again for joining me on this wonderful live streaming platform. These videos are always up. By all means, go back, rewatch, put them back on if you've got 20, 30 minutes to just do a simple meditation. And if you want to dive deeper into your practice, check out the website below. I've got group coaching, I've got online courses to really build your meditation practice. So, As always, have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again here next week.